If you're watching Amazon KDP tutorials trying to figure out how to actually start, you've probably noticed something frustrating. One video tells you to pick a niche, another shows you how to hire writers, a third explains keywords, but nobody shows you how to fit it all together in the right order. I'm Karla Marie. Back in 2013, I was a broke yoga teacher who stumbled onto KDP Publishing, and today I run Fiction Profits Academy, where we've helped over 15,000 students build income streams from Amazon. And the number one question I get is this: where do I actually start and what comes next? That's what this tutorial answers. I'm walking you through the complete system, start to finish, in the exact order that you need to do it. No scattered advice, no assumptions about what you already know, just the full roadmap from zero to your first sale. And by the end, you'll know precisely what to do at each step, the common mistakes that kill beginners, and how to avoid them. I'm also going to show you the budget breakdown so that you know what to expect to invest, plus realistic timelines for your first book. Now, before we dive in, I need to mention this. Results vary. Earnings are not guaranteed. Publishing can generate income streams, but it requires work, strategy, and patience. Some of our students generate impressive royalties within months. Others, it takes a little longer. It depends on your niche, your execution, and market conditions. With that said, let's dive into phase one, which is all about choosing your profitable niche using data, not guesswork. Phase one, foundation. Choose your profitable niche. Most people pick niches based on what they're passionate about. That's backwards. You should actually pick based on proven buyer demand. Trust me, when it starts generating royalties, you'll learn to love it. I know because I learned this the hard way. When I first started, I published a few nonfiction books because I thought that that's what the way to go was. They made a little bit of money, but I knew there had to be something bigger. So I started studying the bestsellers, and I saw that fiction books were selling really well. Specifically, romance books were at the top of the charts. So I switched to romance, and that's when things really took off. To select your niche the smart way, the first step is to look at the most profitable niches. Not all of Amazon book niches are equal. Some are faster and easier to build a business than in others. And based on our experience with thousands of students, here are the best niches for fast growth. Contemporary romance, especially high heat, mafia romance, billionaire romance, sports romance, paranormal romance, clean and wholesome romance, cozy mystery, and psychological thriller. These work because romance readers are voracious consumers. Some of them read a new romance novel every single night. They're constantly searching for their next book, which means there's built-in demand. If you're thinking, but aren't these niches oversaturated? Won't I be competing with thousands of other books? While it's true that there are a lot of books in these niches, there are also millions of readers actively buying every single day. The demand is massive, and Amazon's algorithm doesn't care how many books exist. It cares about which books readers actually want right now. So if you create a book that matches what readers are searching for, Amazon will show it to them. And that's how the system works. So that's what you should focus on. Step two is to validate your niche. But we're not just picking a niche and just hoping for the best. We're gonna validate it with data before you spend a single dollar. To do that, just go to the Amazon Kindle store, and in the search bar, type your niche. Let's say you're considering contemporary romance. Type that in and hit search. Now, on the left side of the page, you'll see a bunch of filters. Scroll down until you see department. Click on Kindle eBooks, and this filters out paperbacks and audiobooks so that you're only looking at ebooks, which is what we're publishing. Next, look at the top of the page. You'll see sorting options. Click on bestsellers to see the top 100 books in that niche. Now, here's what you're checking. Click on the book ranked number one. Scroll down to the product details section, and you'll see something called bestsellers rank, or BSR. This is a number that shows how well that book is selling compared to every other book on Amazon. For a healthy niche, you want to see book number one in the top 100 with a BSR around 500. Now go back and click on book number 100 in that same list. Check its BSR. You want to see a BSR around 10,000. A lower BSR number means stronger demand. Higher BSR numbers mean slower growth potential. If book number 1 has a BSR around 500 and book number 100 has a BSR around 10,000, that niche has solid demand. There are enough readers buying books that even the 100th best-selling book in that category is still performing well. But if book number 100 has a BSR over 50,000, that niche might be too slow. It could mean that there are not enough buyers. And if book number 100 has a BSR under 1,000, that niche might be too competitive. Everyone's fighting for the same readers, and it'll be harder to break in as a beginner. So you're looking for that sweet spot, BSR around 500 for the top book and BSR around 10,000 for the 100th book. Common mistake that kills beginners. Get this bit wrong and you'll make one of the deadliest mistakes that you can make as a beginner. You do not want to pick a niche that's either completely oversaturated or practically dead. You want the middle ground, healthy demand, reasonable competition. Step 3, consider the complexity factor. Some niches require more complex storytelling than others. Contemporary romance, mafia romance, billionaire romance, sports romance, these typically have simpler plots. Two people meet, face obstacles, fall in love. The world building is minimal because the story happens in the real world. But in genres like mystery, thriller, paranormal, fantasy, these often require more complex plots, world building, character development, and they can take longer to produce and might require more experienced writers. As a beginner, I recommend starting with the simpler niches. You'll move faster, learn the system quicker, and start seeing results sooner. You can always expand to more complex niches later, once you understand the process. Your phase number 1 checklist. Before you move to phase 2, make sure you've done these things. Selected one specific niche from the FPA list I gave you earlier, validated the BSR numbers to confirm healthy demand, and confirmed that the niche matches your goals. If you want fast results, stick with simpler contemporary niches. If you're willing to invest more time learning complex storytelling, mystery or paranormal could work. And once you've got your niche validated, you're ready for phase 2. Phase 2, research, decode what sells. Now that you know what niche you're publishing in, you need to understand exactly what makes books in that niche successful. This is where most beginners skip ahead and waste money. They hire a writer, create a book based on what they think will work, and then they wonder why nobody buys it. We're not doing that. We're researching first, so you create exactly what readers are already buying. The FPA trope system. Let me explain what tropes are and why they matter so much. A trope is any intriguing plot element or character type that makes readers want to click buy now. Think of tropes as the language readers use to find their next favorite book. There are theme-based tropes, things like enemies to lovers, second chance romance, forced proximity, fake dating, secret baby, and then there are character tropes, things like billionaire boss, grumpy single dad, sexy firefighter, small town doctor. And tropes aren't just random story elements. They guide everything. Your title, your cover design, your book description, what you tell your writer to create. Everything flows from the tropes you choose. We recommend you pick 6 or more tropes for every single book. 4 of those should be recurring tropes that appear in every book you publish. This creates brand consistency. Readers who love your first book will recognize your style in your second book, your third book, because the same core tropes keep showing up. Then you add 2 or 3 unique tropes per book for variety. Let me give you an example. Let's say your recurring tropes are billionaire, boss, enemies to lovers, and single dad. Every book you publish features a billionaire boss who's a single dad, and the relationship starts with the main characters just hating each other. Then for book 1, you add the unique trope of forced proximity. Maybe they're stuck together at a remote work retreat. For book 2, you add surprise pregnancy as the unique trope. For book 3, maybe fake dating. Same core brand, different twists per book. Now you might be thinking, won't this get repetitive? Won't readers get bored? Actually, no. Romance readers specifically seek out these trope combinations. They want the familiar emotional experience of their favorite tropes just in a new story. That's why series with these consistent tropes tend to outperform books that try to be completely unique every time. How to research tropes the right way. So here's how you figure out which tropes to use. Go back to Amazon, search your niche, pull up that top top 100 bestseller list again. Now start clicking into the top 20 books. For each one, read the book description. This is the text that shows up on the book's Amazon page, sometimes called the blurb. As you read these descriptions, start documenting patterns. Which tropes show up repeatedly? If you see billionaire mentioned in 15 out of 20 descriptions, that trope is hot right now. Which character types dominate? Are you seeing a lot of grumpy heroes, shy heroines, strong independent women? Which emotional hooks keep recurring? Forbidden love, second chances, overcoming trauma? Open a document and literally make a list. Just write down every trope that you notice across those 20 books. After you've gone through 20 books, you'll start seeing clear patterns. Certain tropes will appear again and again. Those are your winners. Now, pick your 4 recurring tropes from that list. Choose the ones that showed up most frequently in the bestsellers because those are what readers are actively searching for and buying right now. Then pick 2 or 3 additional tropes for variety. These can be less common but still present in the bestsellers. One critical point about tropes: don't try to be unique. Don't pick tropes based on what you personally find interesting. Copy what's already working. I know that might feel weird. You might think, but won't my book just blend in with everything else? The truth is that readers don't want innovation in romance. They want the emotional experience that they crave, delivered reliably. They search for specific tropes because those tropes give them specific feelings. If you try to be clever or different, you'll confuse them and they won't buy. Your goal is to give readers exactly what they're already looking for, just written well and packaged professionally. That's how you succeed. Beyond tropes, document visual patterns. While you're researching those top 20 books, also take screenshots of their covers. Look at the patterns. What font styles keep appearing? Are you seeing a lot of script fonts, bold sans serif, elegant serif? What about the image style? Are the covers illustrated, photo-based, abstract designs? What colors dominate? Dark and moody, bright and cheerful, pastels? What's the overall vibe? Steamy and intense, sweet and wholesome, or mysterious? Save 15 to 20 cover examples in a folder. Later, when you hire a designer, you'll show them these examples and say, I want this vibe, but unique to my book. This is how you ensure your cover looks like it belongs on the bestseller list, because it'll match the visual language readers in your niche recognize and respond to. Common mistake. One thing to watch out for is using tropes you personally like instead of tropes readers are actually buying. You might think, I'm tired of the billionaire trope. I'm gonna write about a middle-class accountant instead. That might be more realistic, but readers aren't searching for middle-class accountant romance. They're searching for billionaire romance. If you ignore what readers want and publish what you think they should want, your book will sit invisible on Amazon. And if you're in this because you want to build income, then this isn't about your personal taste. It's about understanding market demand and giving readers what they're actively seeking. Your phase 2 checklist. Before moving to phase 3, make sure you've completed these things. Identified 6 or more tropes from best-selling books in your niche, chosen your 4 recurring tropes that will define your brand, saved 15 to 20 cover examples showing the visual patterns in your niche, documented title patterns from your books. How long are they? What structure do they follow? Do they mention tropes directly in the title? Once you have all this research, you're ready to actually create your first book. Phase 3, production. Create your first book. All right, now we're getting into the actual creation process. This is where you'll spend money, so you need to do this right the first time. The big decision: lead magnet first or paid book first. Before you hire anyone or spend anything, you need to make a strategic decision. Are you going to create a free lead magnet first, or are you going straight to a paid book? Let me explain both options so you can choose what makes sense for you. Option 1, the lead magnet strategy. This is what I recommend for most beginners. A lead magnet is a free short book, usually around 10,000 words. You give it away for free to build an email list before you start publishing paid books. Here's why this works. First, you'll learn the entire book creation process on a smaller, less expensive project. Hiring a writer, getting a cover design, formatting, all of it. But you're only spending $100 to $200 total instead of $500 to $1,000. Second, you build an audience of readers who actually want books in your niche. By the time you're ready to launch your first paid book, you'll already have 1,500 to 2,000 people on your email list who are waiting for it. Third, you validate that your niche actually has demand before you invest heavily. If people download your free book and engage with your emails, you know that you're on the right track. And if they don't, you've only spent $100 to $200 to learn that, and you can pivot before wasting more. Fourth, you create the marketing infrastructure you need to launch successfully. Your email list, email sequences, audience relationships, all that gets built while you're learning. The timeline for this path is about 3 to 4 months before you launch your first paid book. Month 1, create your lead magnet. Months 2 and 3, grow your list to 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers. Month 4, launch your first paid book. Option 2, can skip straight to paid books. The other option is to skip the lead magnet and go straight to creating a 50,000 or 60,000 word paid book. This could be the faster path in the sense that you could potentially launch your first paid book in month 1 instead of month 4. The catch is that you're launching without an audience. You'll rely entirely on Amazon's algorithm, which means your launch will be colder and you'll probably need paid advertising sooner to see traction. You'll also be learning on a bigger, more expensive project. If you can make mistakes in hiring and quality control, those mistakes cost $500 to $1,000 instead of $100 to $200. For this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the lead magnet first strategy because it's safer for beginners and sets you up for long-term success. But if you want to go straight to paid books, the process I'm about to show you is the same, just with a longer word count and a bigger budget. Hiring your ghostwriter the right way. So here's where most beginners panic. You might be thinking, but I can't write a book, I'm not a writer. That's fine, you don't need to be. You're hiring ghostwriters to create the content for you. Your job is to be the publisher, the strategist, the person who understands the market and directs the creative. To hire someone, I recommend Upwork or Fiverr. Both platforms have thousands of freelance writers. In terms of rates, I recommend between 1 cent and 2 cents per word. For a 10,000 word lead magnet, that's $100 to $200. For a 50,000 word paid book, that's $500 to $1,000. Now, don't just post a job, hire the first person who applies, and hope for the best. That's how you end up with a terrible book that doesn't sell. Instead, use the FPA milestone system. When you post your job on Upwork or Fiverr, you structure the payment in milestones. So milestone 1 is what we call the story template. This costs $30 to $50. You're asking the writer to provide 3 things: a 250-word story summary that clearly shows how all the tropes will work together, a chapter-by-chapter outline so that you know exactly what happens in every scene, and the first 500 words of chapter 1 so that you can evaluate their writing style. This is brilliant because you're testing the writer before committing to a full project. If the story summary doesn't include your tropes clearly, or if the chapter outline feels boring, or if the first 500 words are poorly written, you pay the $30 to $50 and you move on to a different writer. But if you're happy with the story template, you approve it and you move to milestone 2, which is the full draft. This approach means you're never spending hundreds of dollars on a full book from a writer whose quality you haven't confirmed. What to include in your writer brief? When you post a job, you need to give the writer clear instructions. Make sure you include your 6 or more tropes listed in order of importance, the word count requirement, 10,000 for a lead magnet, 50 to 60,000 for a paid book. The heat level, this is how much romantic or sexual content the book should include. If you're publishing contemporary romance, most readers expect high heat, which means explicit scenes. If you're publishing clean romance, there's no heat at all. Check the FPA heat level guide in your course materials to understand what heat level matches your niche. Once your manuscript is written and edited, you need a cover and a title. Covers cost $50 to $100 if you hire a designer on Fiverr or Upwork. Now is a good time to get back to those 15 to 20 cover examples that you saved during your research. Upload them when you contact designers. Say, I want a cover with this vibe, but unique to my book. Make sure it doesn't look identical to these, but it should fit visually with what's selling in the genre. One huge mistake beginners make is using generic stock photos or trying to design the cover themselves on Canva. Readers judge books instantly. An amateur cover signals amateur content, even if your book is actually great. They'll scroll past without clicking. So spend the $50 to $100 on a professional designer who specializes in book covers. It's worth it. Titles, the impact formula. Your title should do 3 things. Include 1 or 2 of your major tropes so readers immediately know what they're getting. Create curiosity or tension so that they want to know more. And be readable in thumbnail size because most people browse Amazon on their phones. Some examples of titles that work are How to Kiss Your Grumpy Boss. This includes the grumpy trope and boss trope, Plus, it creates tension. The billionaire's secret baby, billionaire trope, secret baby trope, immediate drama. Fake dating the single dad, fake dating trope, single dad trope, clear premise. Notice how each title tells you exactly what kind of story you're getting. There's no confusion, no trying to be clever, just clear trope communication. To test if your title is good, show your cover and your title to someone for 3 seconds. Then take it away and ask them, what genre is this? What's the main trope? Who's the target reader? If they can't answer all 3 questions, your cover or your title needs work. Your phase 3 checklist. Before moving to phase 4, make sure you've completed these things. Writer hired using the milestone system. Story template approved, showing all your tropes clearly. Full manuscript completed and delivered. Manuscript edited. Cover designed by a professional who matched your niche's visual patterns. Title is created using the trope formula that includes your main tropes and creates curiosity. And passed the 3-second test with your cover and your title. Once all of that is done, you're ready to optimize your book for Amazon's system. Phase 4, optimization, set up for success. Now that your book is created, you need to set it up on Amazon in a way that helps readers actually find it. This is where a lot of beginners lose momentum. They've done all this work creating a great book, and then they rush through the setup process without understanding what actually matters. We're not doing that. Setting up your KDP account. First things first, you need a KDP account. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. This is Amazon's platform for self-publishing. So go to kdp.amazon.com, sign up using your existing Amazon account. If you don't have one, you can create one. Then you'll add your bank information. This is where Amazon sends your royalties. And you'll add your tax information. If you're in the US and publishing as an individual, that's your social security number. If you set up an LLC, it's your EIN. That's it. Now you're officially a publisher. That setup itself is easy, but the optimization is what determines whether your book succeeds or disappears. Mastering the keyword system. When you upload your book to KDP, Amazon gives you 7 keyword phrases. Each phrase can be up to 50 characters. These characters determine whether readers can find your book when they search. Think of it this way. If someone goes to Amazon and types billionaire romance into the search bar, Amazon looks at all the books with those keywords and shows the ones it thinks that readers will like. If your book doesn't have billionaire romance in your keywords, Amazon won't even consider showing your book to that person. So keywords are critical. Now, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this. The new keyword rules. Most publishers don't know this, but Amazon introduced 3 new rules in 2024 about what you should not put in your keyword fields. These rules are designed to stop people from wasting keyword space on things that don't help. Rule number 1, don't include book format terms. This means words like paperback, Kindle edition, audiobook, ebook, or hardcover. Amazon's system already knows what format your book is available in. When someone searches for romance ebook, Amazon automatically shows them all romance books available as ebooks. You don't need to tell it. If one of your 7 keywords is romance ebook, you just wasted a slot. You could have used that space for an actual descriptive search term like enemies to lovers or second chance romance. Rule number 2, don't use spelling variations or misspellings. Amazon's system auto-corrects reader searches. If someone types romance with an SE instead of romance with a CE, Amazon shows them romance books anyway. So you don't need to waste keyword space on romance, spelled SE, or romantical, or any other variation. One correct spelling is enough. Rule number 3, don't repeat words within the same keyword string. If one of your keywords is billionaire romance, billionaire CEO, you wasted space. Instead, combine your words efficiently. Billionaire CEO romance uses all 3 words once and gives you room for more descriptors in that same 50-character string. These 3 rules free up valuable space for keywords that actually help you. The drop-down method. How to find winning keywords. To figure out which keywords to use, simply go to Amazon's Kindle store. In the search bar, start typing your main trope. That says billionaire. Before you hit enter, watch what happens. Amazon shows you a drop-down list of suggested searches. You might see billionaire romance, billionaire boss, billionaire grumpy, billionaire CEO. These suggestions are not random. They're based on what real readers are actually searching for right now. If Amazon is suggesting it, that means thousands of people are typing that exact phrase into the search bar every day. So write those suggestions down. Now do the same thing with your other tropes. Type in grumpy, see what Amazon suggests. Type in single dad, write down those suggestions. Keep doing this until you have a long list of search phrases that combine your tropes. Then build your 7 keyword strings using those phrases. Here's an example. Let's say your book is about a grumpy billionaire boss who's a single dad, and the story involves enemies to lovers and forced proximity. Your 7 keyword strings might look like this. Keyword 1, billionaire boss, enemies to lovers. Keyword 2, grumpy single dad romance. Keyword 3, forced proximity office romance. Keyword 4, alpha male CEO love story. Keyword 5, second chance billionaire. Keyword 6, small town contemporary romance. Keyword 7, steamy workplace romance. Notice how each string uses different combinations of your tropes without repeating words within the same string. This gives Amazon multiple ways to connect your book with readers searching for different combinations of those themes. Keywords that will get you suppressed. Now, there are certain keywords that are completely prohibited. If Amazon detects these in your keywords, your book gets suppressed from search results immediately, sometimes without warning. Your book just stops showing up in searches. Here's what you absolutely cannot use. The word bestseller, unless you have an official Amazon bestseller badge. The words free or Kindle Unlimited, other authors' names, other existing book titles, and any claims you can't verify, like award-winning, unless you actually won a verifiable award. Amazon's automated systems scan for these prohibited terms, and if they find them, your book gets buried. So before you hit publish, double check your keywords, make sure none of them violate Amazon's policies. Category selection strategy. You can be in up to 10 categories on Amazon, but during the upload process, Amazon only lets you pick 3 initially. So choose strategically. To do this, find successful self-published books that are similar to yours. These are books with similar tropes, similar style, similar heat level, and click into those books on Amazon. Scroll down to the product details section, and you'll see a list of categories that the book is in. Write those down. Do this for 5 or 6 successful books. You'll start seeing patterns. Certain categories show up repeatedly. Those are your target categories. You want categories where you can realistically reach the top 100. If a category is dominated by traditionally published authors with huge market budgets, it's going to be hard for you to crack the top 100 as a beginner. But if you see self-published authors with similar book quality ranking well, that's a winnable category. Choose your 3 categories based on where books like yours are already succeeding. Set up Author Central. One more thing that takes 10 minutes but can double your sales long term. Author Central is a separate Amazon platform where you create your dedicated author page. It lets readers follow you so they get automatic notifications when you publish new books. It gives you analytics to track your book's performance, and it adds legitimacy. Readers trust authors who have a complete professional-looking Author Central page. Just go to authorscentral.amazon.com, sign up with the same account that you use for KDP, and fill out your profile. Add a professional photo or a logo, write a short bio, and link all your books. Takes 10 minutes and makes you look like a real publisher instead of someone who just threw a book up and hoped for the best. Your phase 4 checklist. Before moving to phase 5, make sure you've completed these things. KDP account is active with your bank and tax information entered. 7 keyword strings researched using the drop-down method. Keywords checked against the prohibited list to make sure you're not using anything that'll get your book suppressed. 3 winnable categories selected based on where similar successful books are ranking, and Author Central is set up with a complete profile. Once all that is done, you're ready to launch. Phase 5, launch. All right, this is where everything comes together. Your book is created, your Amazon KDP account is set up, the keywords and categories are optimized. Now, you need to launch in a way that gets Amazon's algorithm to notice your book and start promoting it. But before I explain the launch strategy, you need to understand something that changed in 2024. Because if you're using advice from 2022 or 2023, you're going to struggle. The critical 2026 update, the A10 algorithm shift. For years, Amazon used what insiders call the A9 algorithm. This was the system that decided which books to show to which readers. Under A9, Amazon looked at your keywords and your initial sales spike. And if you had a big 3-day launch with a lot of sales right out of the beginning, Amazon would promote your book based on that momentum. Publishers figured this out. They'd push hard for 72 hours, generate a bunch of sales, and then just coast. And it worked for a while. But in 2024, Amazon rolled out a new system. It's being called the A10 algorithm, and it works fundamentally differently. Amazon now watches your book for 30 full days after you publish. It's not just looking at your initial spike anymore. It's tracking whether you have sustained interest, consistent daily performance, real reader engagement over time. Here's what Amazon specifically looks at. Are people buying your books consistently, or did you just have one big spike and then nothing? When people click on your book page, do they actually buy it or do they click away? How long do people spend reading your book page before making a decision? Are people leaving reviews? This is a massive shift. Under the old system, you could potentially game your way to visibility with a big launch spike. But under the new system, Amazon wants to see that real readers actually want your book over a full month. The first 72 hours still matter enormously. You absolutely need a strong start. But now you also need to maintain that momentum through week 2, week 3, and week 4. This is actually good news if you're willing to do the marketing the right way. It means that you just can't trick the system anymore. You need to actually create demand for your book. And that's exactly what I'm about to show you how to do. The Lead Magnet Foundation. If you follow my advice and built a lead magnet first, here's when it pays off. Your launch trigger is when you've reached 1,500 to 2,000 email subscribers from your lead magnet. This gives you enough audience to execute the newsletter swap strategy that I'm about to explain, plus enough readers to recruit as your ARC team for reviews. If you skip the lead magnet and you're launching cold, you can still do this. It's just harder because you don't have your own audience yet. You'll rely more heavily on Amazon's algorithm, and you'll probably need to use paid advertising sooner. But either way, the launch strategy that I'm about to show you is what works in 2026. The newsletter swap strategy. So how do you create consistent daily sales velocity for 30 days, which is what the A10 algorithm wants to see? The answer is newsletter swaps. This is when you partner with another author who has a similar sized email list in your genre. You promote their books to your list, they promote your book to their list. Win-win. Zero cost. The platform to find swap partners is bookclicker.com. You sign up for free, create a profile with your book information, and you can start booking swaps with other authors. The FPA launch formula goes like this. Book 4 newsletter swaps per day for 7 days during your launch week. That's 28 total swaps. Each swap sends your book to hundreds or thousands of readers in your exact genre. Readers who already love books like yours and are actively looking for their next read. This creates consistent daily sales, not just a spike on day one, but sustained momentum throughout the week and beyond. And because these are real readers genuinely interested in your genre, Amazon's algorithm sees this as legitimate engagement and not manipulation. The ARC team strategy. ARC stands for Advanced Review Copy. Before your official launch, you send free copies of your book to 20 to 30 readers. They read it ahead of time and leave honest reviews on launch day. This is completely allowed by Amazon as long as you follow the rules, which I'll explain in a minute. This is important because under the new A10 algorithm, reviews from verified purchases carry massive algorithmic weight. Amazon prioritizes books that have early reviews from real readers who actually purchased or received the book through legitimate channels. If your book launches with 0 reviews, readers are hesitant to buy. But if it launches with 10 to 15 reviews on day 1, it looks established and trustworthy. To find ARC readers, you can go to Facebook groups in your genre. Search for ARC reader groups or romance ARC teams or whatever your niche is. You can also find some through your email list. Another way is through book funnel promotion groups where ARC readers hang out. When you recruit ARC readers, emphasize that you want their honest opinion. If someone hated your book, you'd rather they not leave a review than leave a fake 5-star review that gets flagged and removed. Amazon has tools that can detect fake or AI-generated reviews. And if they find fake reviews on your book, they'll remove them. If they find a pattern of fake reviews across multiple books, they might suspend your account. So keep it honest. Good books naturally get good reviews. Trust the process. Pricing strategy for maximum traction. To price your book for the best chance of success, I recommend you price it at 99 cents, but only for the first 30 days, not forever. This maximizes your sales volume. More people are willing to take a chance on an unknown author at 99 cents. More sales means better category rankings. Better rankings means more visibility. After 30 days, increase your priced to $2.99 or $3.99. This is standard pricing for romance and most fiction genres. At $2.99 or higher, Amazon pays you a 70% royalty. At 99 cents, it's only 35 cents. So you're sacrificing royalty percentage during launch month to build momentum. But once you have reviews and rankings and social proof, readers will pay the higher price. KDP Select enrollment. One more critical decision you need to know is KDP Select. When you upload your book, Amazon asks if you want to enroll in KDP Select. This makes your book available in Kindle Unlimited, which is Amazon's subscription reading service. Now, enrolling in KDP Select means that you agree to Amazon exclusivity. You cannot publish that same book on any other platform. Not Barnes & Noble, not Kobo, not even BookFunnel. For most FPA students, the majority of their income comes from Kindle Unlimited page reads, not purchases. So enrolling in KDP Select is worth it. But here's the key. Your lead magnet should not be in KDP Select because you need it on BookFunnel to build your email list. Your paid books should be in KDP Select to maximize Kindle Unlimited income. The first 30 days, what to monitor. Once your book is live, here's what you need to watch. During weeks 1 and 2, monitor your daily sales velocity. You want to see consistent sales, not one big spike and then nothing. Watch your category rankings. Are you moving up the bestseller lists in your categories? If you're stuck or you're dropping, that's a signal that something isn't working. Track reviews coming in. Quality matters more than quantity. A few genuine 5-star reviews from verified purchases are better than 20 mediocre ones. During weeks 3 and 4, pay attention to keyword performance. Which keywords are driving the most traffic to your book page? Amazon doesn't show you this directly, but you can infer it by testing different keywords and watching your sales patterns. Monitor your category performance. Are you ranking better in some categories than others? If one category is working really well, you might want to request additional categories in that same area. Check your read-through rate in Kindle Unlimited. Are people finishing your book or are they stopping halfway? High completion rates signal to Amazon that readers love your book and the algorithm will promote it more. If something isn't working, you can make changes. You can update your keywords. You can request different categories by emailing KDP support. You can adjust your cover or your book description. The first 30 days are your optimization window. Use it. Your phase 5 checklist. Make sure you've completed these things for a successful launch. If you're using the lead magnet strategy, your email list is built to 1,500 or more subscribers. 28 newsletter swaps booked for launch week. ARC team recruited with 20 to 30 readers ready to leave honest reviews. Book priced at 99 cents for launch month. Paid books enrolled in KDP Select. Lead magnet is not enrolled. Launched with a coordinated email announcement to your list. Monitoring performance daily through week 4 to catch any issues early. Once you've executed your first launch and you're seeing results, you're ready to think about scaling. Phase 6, scale, build your publishing business. One book can generate income, but a catalog of 5 to 10 books creates exponential growth. Why? Because multiple books creates a compound effect. When someone discovers your book 3 and loves it, they'll go back and they'll buy books 1 and book 2. When book 4 launches, it drives sales to your entire series. This is why publishers with 5 to 10 books can outperform someone with just one better book. It's not about being the best writer. It's about understanding how the business model works. Each new book doesn't just generate its own income. It drives sales to all your previous books. This is called read-through, and it's what makes publishing sustainable long-term. The publishing timeline I recommend looks like this. Month 1, create your lead magnet. Months 2 and 3, grow your email list to 1,500 to 2,000 subscribers while validating your niche. Month 4, launch book 1, your first paid book. Month 5, launch book 2. Month 6, launch book 3. After book 3, establish a monthly publishing cadence. This is because romance readers are voracious. Some read a new book every night. If you publish one book and then disappear for 6 months, they'll forget about you. But if you release monthly, you stay top of mind. Each new release reminds them of your previous books and the whole catalog benefits. When to add paid advertising. At some point, you'll want to amplify your organic marketing with paid advertising, but don't do it until you have at least 3 books published. Let's say you run Facebook ads or Amazon ads to promote book 1. You spend $1.50 to acquire 1 sale. Your royalty on that $2.99 book is about $2. You made 50 cents profit. That's barely worth the effort. But if you have 3 books in a series, here's what happens. You spend $1.50 on ads to sell book 1. That reader loves it and immediately buys book 2 and book 3 at full price. Now you've made $6 in total royalties from that same $1.50 ad spend. That's $4.50 profit. And so the math works. This is why you need read-through before paid advertising becomes profitable. When you're ready to start testing paid ads, start with $10 per day budget. Target your exact genre keywords. Let the read-through to your other books handle the profitability. Once you've proven the model works at $10 per day and you're seeing positive returns, you can gradually scale up to $50 per day, then $100, then more once your catalog can support it. Now, I'm not going to teach you paid advertising in detail in this video. That's outside of today's scope. This video is for people building their foundation. Paid advertising is complex. It requires constant optimization. It's expensive to learn through trial and error. Inside Fiction Profits Academy, we have an entire module dedicated to advanced advertising strategies. But you don't need that right now. Right now, you need to build your email list, execute your first launch with newsletter swaps, publish your first 3 books, and prove the organic model works. Once you've done that, then we can talk about amplifying with paid traffic. Building sustainable systems. The difference between amateurs and professionals is that amateur publishers write when inspired. Professional publishers operate on schedules. You need to set up systems for recurring tasks. Monthly book production. This means having a pipeline of writers, editors, and designers who you work with regularly. Monthly launches, email list growth, newsletter swaps, ARC recruitment, all of this becomes a repeatable system. Monthly optimization, keyword updates, pricing tests, performance tracking. You're constantly refining what works. Use project management tools like Asana or Trello to track everything. Create templates for recurring tasks like hiring writers or booking newsletter swaps. This removes the guesswork. You're not reinventing the process every month. You're following a proven system that works. Your Phase 6 checklist. To successfully scale, make sure you've done these things. Publish at least 3 books so that you have read-through for profitability. Establish a monthly publishing schedule to maintain momentum. Created systems for recurring tasks so the process is efficient. And optionally, if you're ready to scale faster, testing paid ads with a small budget to see what's profitable before investing heavily. This is how you build a real publishing business, not just publish a few books and hope for the best. Now you have the complete roadmap. 6 phases from absolute beginner to your first sale with the 2026 updates that most tutorials miss. Here's what I couldn't fit in this tutorial. The exact email sequences that convert cold readers into fans who buy everything you publish. The blurb formulas that double your conversion rates. The advanced category strategies for maximum visibility. The quality control systems that ensure your ghostwriters deliver exactly what you need without constant supervision. Inside Fiction Profits Academy, we teach all of this across multiple training modules. We've helped over 15,000 students build real publishing businesses using this system. If you want the complete system, click the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.